Do you want to get promoted at work? Maybe even get your first leadership position or moving up the ladder? There are some important competencies that you have to showcase in order to put yourself into the best position for a promotion. So in this video, I will share with you these strategies and get you ready for your next promotion. Hi, I'm Koopmann, and I'm a former engineer and senior leader in the manufacturing industry. Now I work as a leadership coach and an expert for team development. And on this channel, I regularly share my tips from my experience as a leader myself, and also with the work of the hundreds of leaders and teams that I've worked with over the last 6 years. So most likely you will be looking at a promotion within your company. And there's a few things that you can do to increase your visibility and the trust of people in your competencies as a leader and to be ready for this promotion. There's some competencies that are related to your performance that I will share with you. There's also one crucial factor that you need to keep in mind as you move up the leadership ladder, and I will share that with you right at the end. So make sure that you stick around. Okay, let's look at the things that you can do to show your potential and also increase your visibility in your organization. Number one, invest in your strength. Leadership is a lot about self-awareness and self-confidence. As leaders, we need to know what we are naturally good at. Also understand our blind spots and potential weaknesses. How can we use our strength to communicate effectively, to build trust and build strong relationships? How can we use our strengths to hold people accountable, but then also understand where are our blind spots getting in the way? Where are we being misunderstood regularly? Because we maybe haven't understood how our actions, our behaviors impact others. Maybe we haven't understood where people are different to us and how this can impact the way that we are perceived and people understand us. So invest in your strength to really build your confidence as a leader and really start to trust your own abilities, but also then being able to showcase that you can use your strength to fulfill the most important leadership competencies like holding people accountable, communicating clearly, and building strong relationships. Strategy number 2 is to really work on your self-regulation. When companies look at who to promote into leadership roles, they're looking for people that can stay level-headed, that can regulate themselves, people that are really aware of their emotions and what's going on for them and how their emotions can impact their thinking and their behaviors. There's nothing wrong with feeling all the emotions at work, but what we want to avoid is that actually our emotions override our rational brain and guide our next steps and actions. You want to show that you're able to recognize what's going on and then put in place your own coping strategies. Take a pause, take a break, move away, reschedule to really contain yourself again, to then have a proper level-headed conversation. So for this, you can start to, first of all, learn how to name your emotions. You can Google emotions wheel and you will find a really great overview of lots of different emotions. And it's really important because we got to name it to tame it. So you got to be able to understand and clearly name the emotions that you're feeling and the triggers that got you there. And then you can start to define whenever I feel stressed, whenever I feel misunderstood, whenever I feel judged or frustrated, what is it that I need in this moment? What is your perfect coping strategy that will help you in this moment to regulate yourself? And this can be different based on the triggers, based on the emotions, and based on where you are at. A really important point is whenever you feel like something is coming up and you feel the emotions rising within you, that you think about taking a breath. Don't respond straight away. If you're in a meeting, take a breath. Say, I just have to think about it for a second. If you get an email and you have an emotional response, wait until tomorrow. Do not reply straight away. It's up to you to start to define these coping strategies and then practice so that you can actually regulate yourself before your emotions have an impact on how you show up and what you say. Strategy number 3 is to openly discuss your goals and ambitions. Do people in the organization even know that you want to get a promotion, that you want to become a leader? Have you shared that with your manager? Have you shared it with people in HR? Do you have mentors or sponsors within your organization that you can really tap into this network and have people that will support you on this journey? You got to talk about it and become more visible. So you can use networking events at your company and start to even just invite people that you look up to for a chat, a coffee chat, and a one-on-one conversation. Start to grow and build your network and tell people about your ambitions. You have to be in it to win it. You have to be known by the organization. You have to be more visible. It could also be a good way to take on new projects and put your hand up for some extra work, for an extra project where you can showcase your abilities to take charge, for example, and become more visible to other people in the organization, not just your department. Strategy number 4 is to become really clear on your why. Why do you want to become a leader? Because leadership is not just for the title, and it's not just your natural progression in your career. Leadership is hard, and leadership is about the people that you lead. If you only want to get promoted for more money and the status, you will really struggle in your leadership role, because there's people that you will need to motivate, that you will need to set goals to, that you will need to delegate, and you will need to support. So you really got to connect to your values as a leader and connect to your why. If people will sense that you're just in it for your own gain, they won't trust you. And a team that doesn't trust you is never going to support you fully and is never going to give their all, because they won't feel safe. There's a video I released on the trust equation that might help you to look at and understand what people need in order to trust you. Strategy number 5 is to showcase that you are solution focused. You can practice this in the way that you approach and discuss issues or problems with your manager. So instead of just coming to your manager and saying, I have a problem here, I'm stuck there, I need your help here, this is not working because of this or that, really go there and already show that you've thought about potential solutions. That doesn't mean that you never need their support, but it shows that you are prepared to think a step further ahead, and that you don't just put up your hands, throw up your hands in the air and say, well, that's out of my control, there's nothing I can do, so I'm just not going to go and do something. It's quite normal that in a bigger organization, we have projects and tasks where we wait for different departments, different people to report back to us to do certain actions in order for us to progress with our goal. And often this is a bit out of our control, right? Because we might not be managing these people. It might be a matrix organization. And it's easy to then just say, well, the IT department is not doing their bit, so there's nothing I can do. And if you want to be a leader, you really have to start to look at these issues and be more solution focused. Because once you are promoted into your next leadership role, that's up to you to figure out solutions for your team whenever they feel stuck. So that's what people look for. They look for someone who is able to look a step further and to look at potential solutions and to take accountability for things and for figuring things out. And strategy number 6 is to think strategically. Start to understand how your actions and your task impact the goals of the organization. How is it that the things that you do bring forward, improve the productivity or reduce cost or improve quality for your organization? Showcase that you start to understand the big picture, and you can start to think about different possibilities, different strategies, different ways to get to the goal. So on the one hand, you can start to showcase that you understand the impact this has on the broader organization. And on the other hand, you might be able to have some great ideas or solutions for other departments or for the wider organization that you might be able to share. Showcase that you can connect the dots and really understand where the organization wants to go. And now, strategy number 7 is understanding the difference and importance of performance currency and relationship currency. This is an idea from Carla Harris. And I think this is one of the most important things for you to keep in mind, because when you start your career, you are there because of your expertise, because of your education and your knowledge. This is your performance currency. You are then measured by how well you do your job, how well you achieve results. So your performance currency is really, really important at the start of your career. And this might even get you to be promoted to a senior accountant, to a senior analyst, and maybe even your first team lead role. But as you move up in the organization, it's going to be less about your performance and more about your relationship currency. To create impact and have bigger influence and be visible in your organization, you really have to build strong relationships with different people in the organization. They need to know you. They need to trust you. You want them to invest in you because they truly trust and believe that you have the capability to do and achieve more. So to summarize it, the more you move up the leadership ladder, the less important it is what you know, and the more important it is who you know. because people will expect you to perform well once you've achieved a certain level. They don't even question that anymore. The other people's opinions of you will affect your chances of a promotion and your further career in this organization. So how do you build relationship currency? We need to give more than we take. So really start to think about people in your organization that you want to get to know a little bit better. Start to understand who are some key players. And then you really have to check your values here, because this is not about you, it's about them. You got to start to figure out how you can support them, how you can help them, how you can invest in this relationship by giving more and building trust. No expectation of any return. And this is the tricky part, right? Because now I'm mentioning this as part of this video of how to get promoted. So in the back of your mind, you might be thinking, whoa, I want to get promoted, so I have to talk to this person, that person. So you might become a little bit calculative about it. And that will obviously get in the way, because if people, again, don't trust that you're really, truly invested in them and invested in supporting them, and they start to see that you're more self-orientated, then they won't really build trust to you, and then you won't get promoted. So you really have to figure out and really have to focus on the things that truly are meaningful to you and truly invest in these authentic relationships. So start to share ideas, start to volunteer for tasks, start to ask them what they need from you, how you can support them, and then really start to engage in honest conversations. Try to get to know them, try to build trust. And this will make a huge difference in your career in this organization. So these were 7 strategies of you to showcase your competencies and to set yourself up for success, to become more visible and be ready for your next promotion. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Make sure that you also subscribe so you don't miss out on my next videos.